Now let's go ahead and add particles to the explosion. So let's go ahead and delete the particle, and I want to show you that from scratch. Let's click on emitter particles, and I want to drag and connect that to the shape. So I have some particles, but as you see, we don't see them, and they are following the explosion or the smoke. As you see, they are inheriting the velocity from the smoke. So we can control that by going to the active forces, and you can see we have the volume. So if I set that to 0 and this one to 0, now the particles will not follow the explosion. As you see, they are there. And I can go to the initial forces, and I can change that to velocity cone. I want to push them on Z, as you see. So now they should be pushed on Z. And because the speed is too low, let's set that to maybe 6. As you see, they are going up. And I like to go to the emission, and I'm gonna turn off the continuous emission. I don't want that. I want just to burst them at the first frames. So we have some particles, and it's so high. Let's set that maybe to 500. And you can see we have some particles going up. And we need to go to the active forces, and I like to increase the gravity maybe to 100, because I want them to push up and come down. As you see, maybe 80, see them, or maybe 70. I think it's pretty good. 70 works very good. And we can increase the velocity damping. This will make the particles lose their energy faster. You can see. And I like to go to the collisions. I don't like to bounce the particle on the ground. You can make it bounce, it's up to you, but I like to set that to 0. And now let's go ahead to the shape, and I want to make them bigger, and I like to add some variation to the size, and I like to make the size smaller over the life, and the life we should set that maybe to 0.5, and this one 1.2 maybe. As you see in the shape, because I set the curve from 100 to 0, now the particles shrinking over time. Nice. Let's go now to the rendering. We can set the initial color for the particles, maybe something orange, and I like to set the particle type to emissive. I want to emit light from it. Let's see how this will look like. And let's change the color. Let's decrease the emissive boost a little bit. I think the color is so bright. Let's see. No. Let's decrease it a little bit more. And we can go to the shape maybe, and then in the particle render type I can set that to velocity aligned. I want to stretch them like that. Let's go again back to rendering. I don't like how the particles are looking because the brightness. Let's set that to additive, and let's see that. I think I'm gonna change the scale a little bit more, and we can decrease the burst size to maybe 300. So now let's go ahead and emit smoke from it. Let's set that to 100, and we should get smoke from the particles, as you see. Let's try to add more boost. I don't like the yellow color on them, so that's why I am keep changing that. So let's do it again. It's much better.